Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and this is Steve. So we're back. First time in 2026.
Ooh, it feels good in here.
I know.
I think we're going to score 60 goals or 60. We're going to get 60 points, and I think we're going to finish first. And it's just going to be amazing again. These kids from San Diego, they can't possibly be that good again. Who would have said that last year?
Okay, so in all seriousness, I was talking to Steve before this, and I said, hey, we need to try to be positive because we didn't have the flashy splashes that we were hoping for. And so, yeah, he just said, let's go full throttle and just say we're going to be in first place. Yeah, great job, Steve. Great job.
Or you could say we didn't have a splash. We didn't have a big splash. Yeah. We didn't have a splash. We had a trickle. Someone wanted to make a splash, but instead of throwing a rock into a pond, they threw a sponge. And they didn't realize why the sponge didn't make a splash. That's a rough metaphor, but it works if you think about it.
Let's talk about this, right? We went into the off season and we were really hoping that there was going to be some major splash. So I'm not talking about Messi level because the MLS would never allow for some Midwest team to have some Messi level type of player, right? But we thought we were going to get some kind of designated player that was going to rock our socks off. Now, I do agree everybody's kind of yelling in the background. I can hear you guys. You guys are saying, yeah, but we need to make sure it's the right player. But still, we went into expectations because I'm sorry, Steve, as much as we love this team, that was so hard to watch last year. I mean, I watched it because I was wanting to support them, but there were times where I was just like, what are we actually watching here? This felt like the Rams, when they were purposely trying to tank. That's what it felt like. You remember those days?
2013 Rams, come on now. That was horrible. 2012 through 15 or 14 when they left, yeah.
Jeff Fisher, right? That's when they really started taking,
8-8 Fisher. I didn't even expect, honestly, a big player. I expected a big coach. That's honestly what I had expected because we thought that Klaus would be here. We thought that a lot of the team that was there would still be here. So I was expecting a big time coach, and I don't know what to expect out of damn it because Demay. It's damn it. Damn it. I don't know what to expect out of him because he's been at the 2 level, and it's just I feel like it looks like this team has gone cheap. It looks like this team with value over $10 billion is really cheaping out on the fans that have sold out pretty much every game for the first 3 seasons of its existence, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel really good. We should be excited about Chris Ray and I don't know how we should be excited about that. And they haven't made any giant moves to bolster any excitement.
Okay, so let me provide a counterpoint though. When what's his face from last season during preseason, the players, and this was later on, right? Because they didn't say during preseason, but the players said basically, yeah, we knew the season was over before it even started. They saw him and they're like, he's completely incompetent, game over, right?
Yep.
Now, the players, what they're saying, I'm just kind of listening, but they seem like what they're saying is, hey, look, this guy's bringing a lot more structure. He has a lot more intent. When I hear that kind of things, that's saying, yeah, he actually knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot like the last guy.
Yeah, I hear that he's got big plans, and the team is just we saw a comment that says they're just getting the big picture and learning how to put it together. We're within a month of the season starts, and we're basically learning how to draw X's and O's on a board. And what did we lose our first preseason game 3-1 or something?
That doesn't bother me though.
I don't know, man. Olaf really and it wasn't just Olaf. The team shoved that down our throat. The team shoved it in our throat that this is going to be the next big thing. This is going to be an amazing coach. Look how exciting this is. The team is just going to be amazing. And it was just awful. So I don't know. I I want to be excited. I think tomorrow when we play Portland. I think when we
Okay.
play, and if it's a good first 20, 30 minutes, which is pretty much all you can expect out of a preseason. It looks good. Like ball handling, like they're wanting to target the second ball, getting into space, like actually being tough on the ball. Like if I see that, then yeah, let's go ahead and crank the excitement level up to like a 3 from like a 1. But if it looks like the same old shit that we had, you gotta hit the button again. If it's the same old beep boop boop that we had last season, it could be the second preseason, but it's still a window as to what we can expect this year. And it's all we can do. I just
Yeah, I think this is going to be a different style of game for sure. So the thing is that they were a high pressing team. It was a lot of action and reactive type of style of soccer, which can be quite effective. This seems like it's going to be more of a proactive style of soccer. And just like in real life, I think the style is going to feel a little more boring, but it's going to be more purposeful, more strategic. And I think this actually might lead us to something that might produce a better product. So, Steve, I was talking to you by text message earlier today, and what we had said is that last year we have a lot of the same players that we had last year. There are some changes, of course, right? Notable losses and some gains. But the thing is that it just didn't work last year. However, this is a completely different style of soccer. The thing
yeah.
is this team could be completely different. I'll give you an example, right? Mechanic, right? He was on our team. He sucked, right? He goes and he's starting for what is it? Minnesota, right?
It's in Minnesota now, yes.
Yeah. And he's starting and he's actually playing well, but he didn't play well here, right? We had Nelson, right? One of our main guys, like from the OGs, right? He was nothing here. And then he goes on a winning, successful team out in LA. Like, obviously, sometimes players thrive in better systems than others. Ours sucked. We didn't have great leadership. We had, unfortunately, a sporting director, which sounded good, seemed like he knew what he was doing, but turned out he didn't. We had coaches, same thing.
Yeah.
We have a completely new sporting director and new coach. I would argue that this is a whole new look to this team, and players that maybe sucked before might do awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think that the I am excited by the idea of us potentially running a 3-back. We don't know for sure because we haven't seen the team. There's been no real footage on the team. We can just have what we say and what we see in the news. Tomorrow will be our first real glimpse of what kind of formation, damn it, is going to run for this team. But I do think that Lutz was nothing more than a Fabergé egg, a paper tiger, if you will. He had great hair. The accent was cool. Looks like he put together a fine team at the very beginning. But then as soon as that team had frustrations, he had no idea what to do. No idea.
Yeah,
Either that or
absolutely.
the ownership also probably hamstring up. We don't know. And so maybe now that not the entire, the sporting side is reset, then maybe some of these players will have the opportunity to flourish. We don't have our main striker anymore. So basically, if you look around, you see posters of the team, a lot of those players on those teams are not there anymore. And we've got we're starting to get our turnaround. And, I don't want to hope because I don't want to put false positivity on things. But if the new coaching style is effective, if the assistant coaches he brought in are effective, then it will be entertaining. I showed you that the over-under for every MLS team was posted by the books, and St. Louis's over-under for the season is at 42 points. I told you that would put us in 10th place in the in the West last year. So last season, I think ninth place was at 44 points. So we would have just missed the playoffs in that scenario, or we would have been in a wild card. We had 32 points last year. So that's still better than last year. And that's if you look at all of our losses and all of our draws, how many of those last year did we lose from a winning position? Because this team could not finish. This team could not finish games last year. Damn it, can somehow get this team to actually finish games, that's the difference right there. I honestly
Absolutely.
believe we missed the playoffs because we couldn't finish, because we either ran out of energy or there's no creativity. Olaf was Olaf, and then we had Chris Lee as like the fill-in, but like, how much buy-in did he get from the players? How much creativity does he have? Clearly not enough, because he's still in our 2 system. But if this team can finish games, not blow leads, there's the playoffs. And I asked you
Absolutely.
last year, would you rather be a playoff team for 9 years and never win, or maybe win and then not make the playoffs? But like, are you going to be okay with us just making the playoffs? And I think
So
yes. I think yes.
I think so. We were just talking about the Rams. By the way, time out for 1 second. I totally forgot to mention this, and so did you. If you are new listening to us, we are SEL City Showdown, and what we kind of focus on usually is different sorts of games. So we kind of play like little games like goal or no goal, and that's how we kind of do our discussions. This is a little different. If you guys are D&D fans and know what a session 0 is, that's kind of what we're doing here. We're just doing a little banter. This is a little bit different than our usual style. So if you're new, I would highly recommend the first game of the season. Definitely check us out, because we'll have our traditional format. This is more, like a warm-up, if you will. So anyways,
the kids call it vamping. The kids call it vamping.
Yeah.
Not
absolutely.
vaping. Not vaping. We don't have any tutti frutti. We are just vamping.
And any jazz players out there know what vamping is, which is basically what he just said. Anyways, to answer your question, would I rather win the cup this year and have 9 years of no playoffs and crap teams, or would I rather have 10 years of a playoff team but no cup? I would actually have to say the playoffs. And the reason why is because I think about the Rams. We had the Super Bowl, and then all I can remember is all those depressing games where we were just crap, and it was miserable to watch. Imagine watching City last year for the next 9 years. That's miserable.
No,
Why do we watch these games? We want to be entertained.
Yeah. I think any Atlanta Braves fan from the 90s would love to have that run again. I mean, yes, they won 1 World Series over a 12-year stretch, but like, they made the playoffs every year. We don't have to go back as far as the pathetic as the Rams. Look at the Cardinals. The Cardinals won in 06, they won in 11, and then it's been a trickling down to just like Meanderyville forever. Or, I mean, let's think about it. Think about the Sporting KC. So let's keep it in soccer. They won the cup in 13 and slowly have their only main call to fame right now is they won, I think, the US Open after that, and beating us in the playoffs after being in last place for a while. And our first year, they're the ones that knocked us out of the playoffs. I think that's their big call to fame right now, and they're not going to be any good this year, it probably looks like. So I would rather us make the fucking playoffs. Just boop, here we go again. That's 2. Make the playoffs.
So let's actually, you know what, we were talking about the session 0. Okay, we're kind of improving here. Let's play a game. Would you rather? Okay.
Woo!
Would you rather have 34 MLS city games that you had to watch that were extremely boring games, but we won them? Or would you rather watch extremely fun games, but we lost every single one?
I want the boring wins, because I would say the second half of the 24 season, after they fired Carnell, where we kept, like you said earlier, we kept edging. We almost made the playoffs for the majority of that season, because a lot of those games were exciting, but we were on the wrong end of that exciting. We still had the high from the first season, and we didn't realize what was coming. But I would argue that a lot of those games were still exciting. Like, we could not win those games, but we just kept almost. If I could have 21-0 wins, I take it. Okay. Because we at least won.
I'm going to give you another would you rather, and then if you have any, you can do it. And I got a few for you, right? Okay. Would you rather have a DP added to our team that is a midfielder, or a defensive player. So no, you don't get an offensive cost replacement.
What?
That's too easy. That's too easy.
Is there a DP that is a defender? Who in this league has DP money? I was gonna son of a bitch. I was, we got it. We got it, bud. They gave DP money to like a 35-year-old goalie. Like, we got that.
Okay, so imagine. Okay, let's make it simple, right?
But
okay, let's say a brand new team, and it's called Steve's team, and it's based out of nowhere. Who cares who you are, Illinois, right?
I'm so rich,
and you're making this brand new team. You can't have any DP attackers. Would you rather have a midfielder? And you can't do a cam. You can't do attacking midfielder. Would you rather have a center fielder that is a DP or a defensive player? Whether it's goalie or center back, wing back, your choice.
I would say I want my best player then to be my goalie. Because if he makes those banana saves like Berkey does, at least I'm getting on the replays and somebody's talking about my team. I can have a DP, the best midfielder in the league, but if I'm losing 7-4 every game, no one's going to know my guy's name. But if I'm losing 1-, but my goalie is making 4 saves and he looks like a crazy person out there springing around, kids are still going to buy my jerseys. Kids are still buying that jersey. So I would rather have my best player. Oh my God, you son of a bitch. You made me, oh my God, I did. But that is going to be a horrible team. But at least I'm going to make money.
Okay.
And that's what I care about. That's what I care about as a sports team owner, making my money. I don't give a crap what the fans think. I'm going to make my money.
Okay, I got another one for you. Ready? Let's get a little bit more intimate with our City SC team, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about our winger, or what would likely be winger. Would you rather have Celio or Sang-Ben and the other one gets released? Which one are you keeping if you had to keep one and release one?
I am going to help Celio pack his bags.
What? Wow, okay. Explain this one. No way.
Celio is a little too close to Klaus's ability to almost always score. He's got amazing ball handling skills, but he's going to give up a lot. I've seen what Celio has to offer. He's an exciting player. My daughter got to play with him. My daughter got to play with Celio. I love it. I love that young man. He's a cool cat. Sang-Ben just seems like something special. I don't think he had a good coach and manager with him last year to really kind of bring it out of him. I think he's going to do a pretty amazing things if we can get him on the field. I do. You're going to make me choose one? That's what I'm choosing. I am going to stop off at Sbarro in the airport and get Celio a nice crappy piece of pizza while I push him into the gates.
Okay.
What about you? What about you, bud?
Hear me out. Okay, so think about athleticisms, right? Like there's the people who have like great technique, like Hartel has great technique and stuff like that, right? Now, think about like that just raw like athleticism. Klaus, he had it, right? Like he would do stuff like, try to do back heel stuff and all that. Celio has these like bangers that are like highlight reel type stuff. We don't really have a lot of true athletic type players that just are able to use their bodies in tons of different ways. That sounded really dirty, by the way, but you know what I meant.
I mean, you're talking about imagining and athleticism and bulky. You said something about like calves of steel. It was weird, man. You went to a dark place. But I got to tell you, I remember seeing Sang-Ben cover the whole length of the field and score a goal last year. Like that young man is like, they both have wheels.
Oh, I love how fast he is.
They both have wheels, but I think that there's probably more in the tank long-term for Sang-Ben, but we can only see, right? Okay. I'd rather trade both of those cats and have a good striker.
Okay, let's have a fun one because I know you're going to hate both of these options, right?
You do it. Don't you say it. Don't.
No, Teutschert is not a true striker, and he's more of that second line forward. But would you rather have Betcher or Teutschert as the number 9, assuming McSorley is like not available and all that fun stuff? Which one would you rather?
One of those two ding-dongs as my main striker. I'd rather have Betcher. I've seen Betcher do it. Okay, don't go back too far. Remember the game, 2 games in a row where Teutschert had an open field, no one in front of him, and he somehow biffed goals on both of those. And like he's got the yips. I'm sorry. The dude's got the yips. I hope he figured it out in the all season, but Betcher is maybe with Claus being gone, this curse is lifted off this team with almost scoring because Betcher seemed to have that as well. But I would rather have at this moment Betcher.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's only that one that's a true striker, though.
Oh my God. Do you remember the summer? It was Royce versus Toykert.
Here.
And like we were both excited that we got this Toyker fella and came from the 97. And the reason I remember that is because it's got the same logo as an old gas station. But and then Reese went to LA and just did nothing. Like Reese did nothing. And it looked like he was not going to do it. But they won the damn cup. They won the damn cup, and Toyker hasn't done crap since then. So like it doesn't seem like we won that right now. Hopefully, now that there's an opportunity for him to score more, maybe it'll change. I don't know. Okay. Well, this would you rather have the DP striker or Alvarez as our goalie because we had to get rid of Berkey to afford him, which is probably where we are. Honestly, this is probably where we are. We could either have the striker or we could have our goalie.
So, man, see, the thing is this is an easy answer, but you basically put me up against the fandom, and I'm going to get like tons of hate mail because of your freaking...
You're welcome.
So here's the realistic answer. I love Berkey, and he definitely saves goals, right? But what we found out is you have to score goals to actually win the damn game. So honestly, I would rather have, I'm going to go even further. I'd rather have the 5th worst goalie and have a DP striker than have Betcher and have Berkey.
5th worst. I mean, we were 6th from the bottom of the table. So like, it's not worse than where we were last year with Berkey.
Right, but that's because the rest of the team sucked, even though he performed well. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is I would rather have a subpar goalie with a great striker than the opposite.
Yeah, I would argue like LA Galaxy has some really good strikers on their team, but they do have a crap goalie. And they almost earned the spoon last year. Like their goalie is possibly one of the worst in the league, but they could score a lot of goals. And that didn't help them.
But you know what? At work, like if you're going to suck, you might as well suck and score goals than suck and do what City did.
So that's your thing.
That kind of goes back to would you rather?
You would rather have exciting losses than boring wins.
Well, no, I didn't.
You want this team to have 20 points.
No,
score 30 goals.
No, I didn't say that.
You want this team to suck.
No.
I can't believe it. I want this team to win, AJ. I got the flag. I got all this stuff.
Don't make me throw this mouse at you.
Oh,
I'm going to do you know what? So my wife, she always grabs your shoe and, threatens to hit me. If you weren't on the other side of the screen, yeah, you better.
I'm going to George Bush your ass. What are you talking about? He was a war criminal, but goddamn, that scene. That was an amazing scene. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Okay.
So,
by the way, if this is the first time you've watched us, yes, we usually derail at some point. So we're, well structured.
So does this team.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So we could probably do this in our preseason, our kind of prediction game, but
absolutely.
Okay, 42.5 points over under. Are you taking the over or the under for this team based on what we know right now?
Okay. So we calculated this. Hear me out, right? The average MLS team per game scores 1.4 points, which if you have 34 games, that would be something like, I think it's 48 points. That's the average amount. Right now, I do realize math nerds out there that the mean is probably lower the median is lower than the mean in this case, but still that's giving us an idea. So what Steve is suggesting is, am I going to go over on or under being a crappy team? Maybe not the crappiest, but a crappy team at 42 points, you said, right? I'm going to say over, but not by much. But we'll do this in a prediction because I need to think about this. I need to go through the list and think about this. I'm thinking probably if I have to give a number right now, I'm going to say like 44 points.
Yeah, I mean, that would put us in the, I'd be interested to know what we had in 24. Because I thought that we were in the playoff hunt for most of the season up until towards the end. I mean, that's another one prediction thing, but like, okay, hold on. I'm just going to look it up.
Okay, so tell me, over or under? You're keeping us all in suspense, man. Over or under? What's yours?
Then 42. I'm going to have to say, like you, we're going to have to be over because I don't want to be worse. I don't want to be as bad as we were last year.
Well, 32 points this isn't a show about your feelings. This isn't a show about your feelings, Steve. What do you actually think?
I think this team, okay, fine. I think this team is going to have 38.
Okay, you know what this a-hole would probably do? I'm actually proud of you, Steve, because the kind of crap you usually would pull, you'd be like, I predict 42 points, so it's not over or under. It's just
here's the thing.
Right at the thing.
I'll take the under. In 24, we had 37 points. In 24, we had 37 points.
Oof.
And I wonder how much better this team right now is in that 24 team. That 24 team had some stars on it. So, like, are we as better than we were in 24, but not as bad as we were or 24, 25? Like, yeah. I don't
Here's my question. Here's my question for you, right? So we basically are going to answer this question. And this is the question of, do we have good players, but we were in a bad system because we're completely changing systems? Or do we have bad players and the system doesn't matter? I think that's what answers your question here.
Yeah.
Because if we're under, it's the players. Because
well, I mean,
what's that ship? What's that ship where you were? Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
You know that ship philosophy where if you have a wooden ship and you replace one board, is it still the same ship?
Right.
And if you replace 10 boards, is it still the same ship? That's what this team feels like right now. We still have a lot of the same players we've had the past couple of years, but we've just changed a few boards around. Are we the same ship?
Name only. Like, I mean, but that's a sports team, though. In 5 years, your sports team isn't going to be the same as it was. You know? And like, especially if you're in like a football team, you are like look at the two teams playing in the Super Bowl. Those teams are unrecognizable than they were the last time they were big names. So like sports teams are going to have constant turnover. But I'll be interested to know, like, I'm going to be looking up before our preseason game, like, is this team constructed better than the 24 team? Because that 24 team, again, was constructed from the 23 team. And honestly, like, I'm looking at the 24 poster. Like, I don't know. This is really cool. Like, right now, when we do our prediction show, I'm probably going to say the same thing. I don't think we're going to be over and we were. I don't think we're going to hit 42 points. Oof. Not yet. I think that they're going to wait until the season transition in 26-27 to really try to jumpstart this stuff. I think we're seeing probably like the build, but they're not being honest with the fans. They're not being honest that this is still in the rebuild. Like they're still trying to sell $60 soccer balls. So like they should be honest with us that we're going to be really bad this season, but we're building something. But they can't because they'll tank sales. I get it. But
so speaking of which,
man, why did we get here?
I really wanted to end with this because we're starting to get towards that time-ish.
Yeah.
But I really want it because I know how much you love this topic, right? And it's the new kit. So the new kit is rumored to be like this heavily gold kit and kind of shiny and stuff like that. And you know what? I love it. I love having a gold kit. I'm super excited because you know what? Back in the day, I had a Kurt Warner jersey. It was the Rams gold kit or gold jersey, rather. It's a kit and not a kit. It's a jersey, but the gold jersey, and I love it and everything about it.
That was blue. To be fair, that was blue with gold accents, not this fucking sunrise crap we got.
The whole thing was gold. Oh, do I have to go grab it and show you?
Man,
the whole thing was gold.
Bulger.
No, it was Warner. It was a Warner jersey. Best quarterback ever.
Although the only quarterback to take like I forget, like two separate teams to the Super Bowl or something like that. I was like, yeah, Kurt Warner's okay. He's an all right fella.
Well, I should say he's my favorite quarterback, maybe not the best one.
There we go.
All right, so tell me, what do you think about this kit? Come on, Steve. I know how much you love talking about this topic.
Okay.
So if anybody's listening for the first time, Steve loved the collars. He loved the little collars. It's like Red Bull gives you wings. They were kind of flapping around.
This team will suck giant balls until we get rid of the collar. This is a curse of the collar. This collar was the worst damn thing this team could have done. They took the L for the Adidas. I'm sure they're like, you got to do it. It's the dumbest ass thing. I hope against hope that the mock-ups that we're seeing are not what this jersey is going to be. All the jerseys we've had so far have had ties to St. Louis. All of them. The first one, I mean, you can even say the gray one was because our roads are crap and it's a gray jersey, like the kit we had.
Yep.
The prison kit we had. I have it on my door.
Yeah,
that one there. Yeah, the first one. That's even a kind of cool one. But like that one you have on there with the arch blades on it, which is so cool. You had the Confluence kit, which is super cool.
That's awesome.
Even the collar nonsense had the stripes because it harkened back to what the 1950 teamers, is that what it was? Like the 5 players?
Yeah.
It harkened back to there. What the hell is gold to St. Louis? It's going to be hard for them to do the old rope-a-dope to try to make this into how they're going to connect. Either that, they're just going to stop. They're just going to stop and say, yeah, we're a gold team now.
Let me ask you this. The other thing is back when City first started, right, all the logos, the jerseys, and you can't really see this on this video, has this kind of like almost like pinkish, like red,
power
quote,
red,
City red.
Yeah.
And they're turning it more and more and more to like a cardinal red. It's lost the pink hue to it. Would you rather have the cardinal red or would you rather have the pinkish Kindle red?
As a member of the, what do we call it, knockoff gang, as someone who only buys jerseys from our friends overseas, I can never get the color to match. So I would prefer a red because red's easy to match. But I'd say, well, even this flag behind me, it was a giveaway last season. That flag is not pink. That flag is pretty much cardinal red. And that's the red on the jersey. They changed it. Like that I love that pink on the jersey you have. Like, that's super neat. And that was a unique thing about this team. And maybe this is a metaphor for giving away the uniqueness of this team to where we just go gold.
I like it.
You know, maybe they're trying to do like the golden arches. They're just trying to like, hey, we're the McDonald's of the MLS now.
The golden shower.
You know, I did joke that if we wear it, they'll have to call them the Yellow Brick Road jerseys as everyone walks over us.
Oh, ouch.
That's a Yellow Brick Road kit.
So, Steve, I got to say, I actually love this pink kit. Now, there's probably guys out there that are probably like, oh, I'm not going to wear pink and whatever. But the thing is the Cardinals already own the red, right? Like, we're so deeply entrenched with the Cardinals. That's like, stop stealing the Cardinals' identity. Yeah. I really wish that they never picked red to begin with. Pick green, yellow, blue, orange, anything other than red, but they just picked red for City. But at least it was this like unique kind of pinkish red.
Yeah.
I just,
I wonder,
don't like it.
Yeah. I have heard how hard that color is to match. And if they're trying to get partners to make stuff for them and it's impossible to match and they can't really do it, like I can see like for a business side, because this team is clearly all about making money. Like, you have to some point say, it was a cool little thing we did, but we can't make enough money on this. You know, yes, you can buy the red, the power red, the city red jerseys, but inside the team store inside the stadium, City Park, if you will, I'm not calling it the other one. I imagine a lot of like the keychains and a lot of like the small little kitschy stuff. I bet the red's not an exact match because you can't. And if they're having trouble keeping their brand identity, how you gotta go away with it.
Dang it, Steve! You're talking logic. Stop it. What is wrong with you?
I'm talking capitalism. There's a difference. There's not much logic in capitalism, but that's what I'm talking like. And that. Our background on our podcast, it's super cool because that's the colors of the team. And you're right. It's probably fading away. And if they can murder it with the stupid yellow, they will. But it's just it's just for our secondary kit, if that's even it. I imagine the red kit is going to stick around. After this horrible season, we get a new home kit. Our primary kit. We get a new primary kit. So that'll be good.
All right, Steve. I think it's about that time we kind of hit that mark. Woo! Not bad. We kind of dusted off the old cobwebs, cleaned out the ear.
All right. You know what y'all do? find your shoes, take them off, throw them across the room, jump on top of your chair, and look around and go, "Oh, for city, baby."